So
Did you tell them what was going on?
yeah, I said, listen,
I'm freaking
just
out.
so you know, I'm crawling out of my skin. I'm sitting next to two people. I feel like I'm trapped. I can't get out. So I'm very anxious now. If I get on an airplane, and here's one.
Okay.
Get on an airplane. I hate to do this, but there's a family, and the father's like, "Do you mind changing seats so my daughter could sit next to me?" I said, "Well, where's the seat?" And he's like, "It's the window seat." And I go, I can't go over there because I'm claustrophobic. And of course, he was looking at me like I was making it up because I would have.
Right.
You know, I mean, if somebody told me that, I go, this fucking asshole won't let me sit with my daughter.
Right.
But it's so bad where I can't sit at the window.
Well, he could always ask somebody else. You know, he could just ask someone else.
Yeah, but
you were by yourself.
I feel like I let him down.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Yeah.
I'm never that guy. I'm always very cooperative. Whatever
yeah, me
we
too.
need.
I'll always move seats.
Yeah.
I'm always worried about other people freaking out. Like there was a video that just went viral recently of some guy saying he was going to take the plane down. This guy stood up in the middle. You see that guy, Jamie?
I've seen a few. I don't know.
There's a few lately. That's what I always worry about. I worry about someone freaking out. I worry about another person that you're going to have to deal with.
I feel though, if somebody's freaking
I think he
out,
stabbed people. Didn't he stab someone? He had like a little knife on him and he stabbed a couple of people. Yeah, he was saying that he was going to take everybody out. Like, oh God.
I feel if you're on an airplane and that's happening, you would be one of these guys that would handle it, right?
Yeah, the problem with handling it is you're probably going to get sued and you might even get arrested. It depends on how much damage you do. You know, you could permanently damage someone. People are very flippant about beating people up, but you could easily permanently damage someone.
No, I believe me. I believe you can. I'm just saying you have that. I think that instinct. You know, like what's the problem? Where I have more of an instinct of, is there a Joe Rogan on the plane?
I was on a plane once and a lady asked me if I would help her because these two guys were fighting. One guy got in first and he put his briefcase above this other guy's seat, and then he sat down. And then the guy who was right behind him goes, no, that's my spot. That's my seat. That spot over here. He goes, no, it's not. It's first come, first serve. Put it somewhere else. It was open. I put it in there. And he goes, no, that belongs to my seat. And then they started getting like belligerent with each other. It started getting like to the point where like, oh my God, are these kids going to fight in first class? And so then this fucking lady who is the flight attendant, she came in and told them both she was going to have them removed from the plane, sit down and shut up. And then she came to me and she goes, if anything goes down, you're going to help me, right? I was like, what do you want me to do? Because if I'm going to help you, it's going to get real messy. Are you going to say that you said it was okay for me to do that to that guy? Like, I'm not going to play nice. If you're on a plane and you've got to take someone out, you have a very short amount of movement. It's got to be very violent. You got to debilitate them. You got to like take them apart right there. You can't like hope that you can hold on to them and then they relax. Then what? You go back to your seat. They're not gonna. You got to put them out.
Yeah.
You got to risk. You got to risk. You know,
as you're talking to me, I feel like you're going through a bunch of different moves of what you could possibly do.
It's got to be violent. If you got a guy like that with a knife, you're not grabbing that guy. You're not just grabbing that guy and bringing him to the ground and holding him down. You're going to beat his fucking brains in. You're going to stop his body from moving. Because otherwise it's dangerous. Like you're in a position where you're being forced to use violence against some irrational, possibly schizophrenic, who knows what the fuck's going on with this guy. And he could kill everybody. Pastor stabs fellow traveler with weapon of pens and rubber bands on Seattle to Vegas flight.
Okay, so what's going on?
He fashioned a handmade weapon before launching an unprovoked attack against a man seated across the aisle. Yeah.
Flying used to be...
Look at his pen. So he made a weapon out of his pens. He tied all his pens together and held on to them. Wow. He said, I planned on attacking and killing him, the defendant stated. Jesus Christ. Defendant felt the mafia had been chasing him the last few months. Yeah, so you go. So he's schizophrenic, and, you know, they don't have fucking scans for that when they bring him in. Oh, during the interview, the defendant admitted to the FBI agents that he was trying to stab CR in the eye to reach CR's brain to kill him. Okay.
And said he was protecting his 7-year-old son, so that's awesome.
The victim's wife was also hurt in the attack as she was shielding the couple's 7-year-old son. Jesus Christ, man. So this guy just decided that this guy was in the mafia that was coming after him, and he snaps and he wants to kill him.
What's going on airplanes? Why is there all this violence now
I think it's
on airplanes?
First of all, there's a lack of respect for authority that came with the whole defund the police thing. So there's like people are more belligerent towards authority. So you have that. And then you have the general heightened level of anxiety of the population post-COVID went up substantially. COVID fucked a lot of people's lives up. We got lucky. We were very fortunate. We make money. We were able to make money during the pandemic. We had enough money to be okay. A lot of people, that's not the case. So many people lost their businesses. So many people lost their livelihoods. So many people have a deep distrust for the government and the world now. And then there's this thing where people are being coddled for being mentally ill, where you're almost like having a mental illness is something you can talk about. It makes you interesting. So I think people encourage mental illness. They encourage breakdowns, and they do it all the time in the real world, and so they think they could do it on fucking planes. And then you got genuinely mentally ill people who are just out of their fucking minds, who really shouldn't be out there in the world. And, you know, they think the mafia's after them, and they're making a fucking handmade shank while they're sitting in 16A. You know, the whole thing's nuts. And it's just like, I think people are just much more on edge right now than they've ever been before. And I think a lot of it is a function of mainstream media. You're being fed every day the worst shit that's happening in the world. Gaza, Ukraine, you know, the fucking ocean's boiling. Oh, my God, what is happening? Putin's doing this, and Xi Jinping is in control of that, and the fucking border's open. Fentanyl. You know, it's just like everyone's on edge. So you get all those people, you stick them in a fucking tube, and then you fly them through the air where there's no one that's really, there's no authority figure on that plane. There's these women, these poor women or men or whoever they are that's flight attendants that have to fucking deal with these people. And most of them are just regular people. They're not, I mean, they do have those guys that hide undercover that are on planes occasionally. What do they call those guys? Yeah, what do they call them?
Air marshals.
Air marshals.
I think they stopped doing that.
They stopped doing that? Oh, great. Of course they did.
All the security, right? To go to the airport, all the security to get on the plane. Once you're on the plane, no security. Like they got security guy walking around Whole Foods making sure you don't steal an apple.
Right.
Yet you're 35,000 feet up, and what?
Right.
The flight attendant's gonna subdue a guy with pens? I mean,
Right. Exactly. And who's going to get hurt along the way? What if he did stab that guy in the eye? You know, like, Jesus Christ. You know, even Mike Tyson got in a fucking fight on a plane. Some guy kept fucking with him. He turned around and beat the shit out of the guy. And now Mike's getting sued.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
You
That
think-
guy should go to, they should ship that guy somewhere where it's terrible. You got to live here now.
What's your take on this Tyson thing?
I go back and forth. I don't generally like the idea of 58-year-old men fighting. It seems crazy risky at this point of your life. You're definitely going to be slower. You're definitely going to be, your reflex is going to be slower. You can't take shots as much. But I don't think that a 50-year-old man today or a 58-year-old man today is the same thing as what we thought of as a 58-year-old man when we were kids because of hormone replacement. So because of nutrition, hormone replacement, science of recovery, and they've got Mike Tyson doing everything. He's doing all kinds of things. He's not a regular 57-year-old guy. And then you see him hit the pads, and you go, Jesus Christ, man. I mean, this is a terrifying human being. I mean, he's still fucking terrifying. Hitting the bag, hitting the pads. He still has the ability to deliver those punches. And if any one of those hits anybody, they're fucked. You're fucked. It's not like his punches are, 30% of what they used to be. They're like 80 to 90% of what they used to be.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. It's probably a little slower than he used to be. He used to be insanely fast. There's a video of Tyson hitting the bag as a 19-year-old, and he's throwing these combinations like, and he's 210 pounds, 215 pounds, throwing combinations like Sugar Ray Leonard. Like, it's insane to watch. No. He was so fast. And that was a big factor in his success. He does not have that kind of speed anymore. But he's still fast. He's not slow.
But Joe, I mean, we're watching a 58-year-old man.
Crazy.
Right? Now if you 30, 40 years ago looked at I was watching the We Are the World documentary, and I'm looking at the people. Kenny Rogers is in that. And I'm going, I'm probably 60 years old here, right? And I look, he's 47. 47 years old in the We Are the World. So the aging process has, I mean, there was no way 58 years.
Yeah.
This guy's 47.
That's crazy.
Younger than I am.
That's crazy. He looks
like
he's 10 years younger than me in that video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the 58-year-old man now.
Look at young-ass Billy Joel. Tina Turner. Willie Nelson looked young. Damn.
How old Willie Nelson there? I know.
He's 100 in this video.
No. How old do you think he is?
90 now.
I know how old he is.
He's
I looked
in his
him up.
90s.
52 years old in that video.
Is he really?
Yeah. It's amazing.
Wow.
So you're right. 58 years old is
very different.
Different. What was Foreman when he came back?
45 when he won the title. He was 33. I think he was 33 or 36 when he was coming back, and everybody was mocking him. And then he beat Michael Moore when he was 45 years old. He's the oldest man to ever win the heavyweight title, and that was before hormone replacement.
That's what I'm saying. I think Tyson is a 45-year-old Foreman. No.